Oh, it's getting cold out here this morning. I'm an early riser. We got a full moon out there. As you can see behind me here, that's the view I have from my house. You can't see me at all. It's too dark. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is yesterday's job. I'm doing the editing bright and early. I get up at 5, and yesterday's job was a really unique job. It scared me. It was a tough one. There was a lot involved, and I want to go into this. It's a long video, so I hope you follow it through. There's a lot to learn about what happened, why it happened, and I'll do the best I can at explaining it, but I think you'll find this very interesting. Well, let's start off with the bid. This video bit here, first couple minutes, is from when I went out and looked at this tree a couple weeks ago. And the first observation is the size of the tree. This is an enormous redwood tree in somebody's front yard. It's much larger than I would expect a urban redwood to grow. However, it doesn't surprise me because I do run into them. So there's a lot of aspects to this job. One was some of these branches that are starting to get towards the house. He wanted those all cut back, and they'd been cut back repeatedly over the years. And I looked at the base of the tree, and you can see where somebody has severed some big roots. It's kind of hard to tell because the new tissue has grown over those severed cuts. But there was a lot of things I had to take into consideration here. Why did the tree get so big? Well, there was a kind of a sewer smell in the front yard, which made me think, what's going on? And there was some bubbling brew over in one corner, which leads me to think that there's a crack in their septic pipe or leach field or something. But let's talk about wires. This tree really did scare me. The wires, those are all uninsulated wires. PG&E has come along and cut it back on one side, so it was pretty close. You can see the big hole that PG&E cut out of this for those wires, and then the tree grew quite a bit above it. And there's a good shot of the top. It's a big brown dead top. So I was trying to figure out, why did it die? What's going on up there? I tried looking at it from the ground and did the best I could, and I decided to get the small bucket truck. I showed up with a small bucket truck, and I got up there and did a visual, and I could see that the tree had been topped once before, and I realized that this was a secondary regrowth of a secondary top that went up there. So back to the job. I was lucky enough to be able to go the high route, and I went along Skyline Boulevard, and there was one of the most beautiful sunrises. I was in awe, and then I got to the job. Oh my God, I looked at it closer. So let me tell you a little bit about this job. I opted to call my good buddy Jeff in. You've seen Jeff in a few of the videos. And I told him, I got a fun one now. And he says, oh boy, I know what you mean by fun one. So we went up there and had to figure out how to get all this stuff down through the top of the tree. Both of us climbed the tree. I went up there with my gear. I was trying out he's got that adjustable flip line. My flip line is still old school. And there's nothing wrong with old school. Everybody, criticizes me for not getting on board with all the new gear and all the new stuff. And I don't have anything against it, but you've got to remember that old school's been around for a long time, and I am truly old school. So I go back to what feels really comfortable for me, and I just get on with it. I'm adapting slowly, but my age is catching up with me, and I don't think I'm ever going to be a SRT climber, but I get the job done. So with that being said, this was interesting. We were up there, and I was about halfway up the tree. I was at the level of the power lines, and Jeff called out to me. He says, check that out. There's a big hawk sitting up on the top of that tree. And clearly there must be either a nest or the crows just don't like that hawk. But boy, it was like watching Japanese Zeros bombing a B-17 that had landed. You know, it was it was pretty interesting. I kept waiting for something to happen, but you know, that hawk just didn't flinch. You know, it was interesting. So getting further up in the tree, there was a hollow, and honestly, I was kind of afraid to put my fingers in here because there might have been some critter living in there, maybe a squirrel's nest or something, but I didn't really get a good idea of how deep it was. But I thumped on it and it was hollow. That got me worried. So the tree was not hard to climb, not hard at all. You know, we did stay tied in all the time with our flip lines and our rope. There's Jeff, and I'm just going to let the conversation of what we did carry the rest of this video. Hope you enjoy this, and
I'm going to leave it here
please
until
subscribe
the
to
very
my
end.
channel.
It's a nice
Thanks.
And this piece out here is dead too. This branch going straight out.
That long branch, that might be a bit of a challenge.
So you got the wires over there. Well, how tall is it? I can't really tell.
This top, it was up about 15 feet above me. So
Well, that's not too bad.
it's about 20.
All right. Well, let me put my camera away so we can get to work. Okay, we're up at the top, and for some stupid reason, I have no idea why this was done, but it was done a long time ago. Somebody took this top out, and you see a lot of reaction wood coming up around it, and it's trying to kind of grow up around this old top. But what the tree has done is it's taken one of the side pieces and created a new top. That's what, about 15 inches in diameter right there. And this is totally dead all the way up, including that big limb that goes way out there. Now our problem, if you can see down through the brush there, is we got some serious power lines down there. Those are the big bad boys, those top ones up there. Those are 12,000 kW. So the PG&E power company has trimmed one side, but for some reason they've not taken this stuff back, and I think they're setting themselves up for a disaster, because I know some of these branches are going to break, and when they do, they're going to cross the lines, and that's going to create a short across the two lines, and we will have a bolt of lightning jump across and take the lines out. Let me clear this stuff so I can see your face, Jeff.
Oh.
Smile for the camera. So we're both up here because it's not a matter of roping stuff down. It's a matter of making one cut, handing it to me, and then I'm going to kind of try to feed it down. I've cleared sort of a passageway, but I know everything's going to hang up all the way down. And we're going to get as much of this off as we can first, but we'll probably have to make a couple of trips because we're going to jam ourselves up so bad we're not going to be able to work through there. Ah, man, this tree is a disaster. Look at this mess. Oh, nice day. Let's see what the view looks like.
This is another fine mess you've gotten us into.
Who said that? Come on. Where'd that come from?
Oh, sorry about that.
No.
When you told me it was a fun job, I knew we were in trouble.
Now maybe you're asking yourself, how come we're both up here? Well, we can't rope because we can't get anything through the tree. The stuff is really light. And if we throw it out, every direction's either going to hang up on these branches, hang up on the power lines, which we can't do, hit the house. So we really don't have any other option. So what we did, and it's kind of hard to tell, but we do have a clearing all the way down. You can see they're already starting to jam up down there. So we're throwing them down. I'm trying to get through. Half of them are making it, half of them aren't. So they're light enough. Jeff's cutting them. I'm pulling them out behind him. I'm managing them, and I'm feeding them through. So teamwork.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Demonstrate.
All right, go for it.
All right.
All right. Here, you want to hold the phone? Don't drop it. It's still going.
Hang it up.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, most of the way.
Good.
Cool.
Turn that off.
Don't video that, Blair, you stupid idiot.
That's when things go bad with your videos.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting wrap setup. Okay.
Fire
Go
up
slow, and I'm just going to lower it. And we're going to hang on to it, and then we're going to pull it back up and cut it into pieces. You want to do an undercut first? A little undercut?
Won't mind either way. All right. Ready?
Okay. Hold it. Stop, stop, stop. I might have too much of a wrap here. Okay. Oh, tip to the pie. Good.
All right. See how heavy it is.
It's not heavy at all. Super light. Well, that's interesting. Look at how many rings are on that. You compare the growth rings of this to the growth rings on that one piece of wood. I mean, that's a lot of years of growth, and it's still kind of wet. That's a good sign if it's still kind of wet.
I wonder if this branch was already here when they topped it. Like, is this top going to be the same age as that branch?
Boy, that's a good question.
Let's see. Because, I mean, count those rings, that might be how long ago this was topped. Or unless that branch was already there.
I don't think it was, because it came off the side there.
Off of this?
Yeah, I think this one was here before that.
I think this and this will be the same.
Same age, huh? Maybe.
I almost feel like counting, but
All right.
they're awful close. Alright, we're going to hoist it up a little higher now.
Actually, I can reach down and get those right there. Then we'll have a straight piece to pull up, and then I think I can cut that off and drop that straight.
On that branch, it's stuck. That's better. Much better. Nice calm morning, that's nice.
Yeah. This is dangerous work we do, Jeff. You know that?
Norma Campbell would kill me if she thought I cut it
Where's the squirrel?
right in the tippy top, right in the tip.
Oh my God, there is. The squirrel ran up. We chased the squirrel up to the very, very tip top. I know, they're pretty tough. What are you going to do, Jeff?
I'm gonna kind of lay it right on there.
So the squirrel will catch the branches?
Yeah, and we'll be able to get it back.
Oh boy,
I think I actually see his nest. I'm gonna put him right back in his nest. You just stay right there.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh man.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to start your saw, and the vibration's going to scare him, and he's going to run down your back.
Hey, when that happens.
I can't see him very good, but I can see way at the very, very tip top.
Yeah. I saw him earlier, and then I didn't see him. And there's where he is. I'm just gonna put it right there.
All right. You can do it with a handsaw?
Chainsaw.
Are you ready? Oh, he's up in the branches. Not a problem. There might be a problem getting that out of there, though. Good job, Jeff.
I mean for it to roll over where it did, but
Yeah,
we
that's
can
all right.
still
We could throw a branch
push it
around
out
it.
of
Pull,
there.
we can throw the rope over it and hook it and bring it back.
Yeah. I've got my new Petzl carry tool right here. Just came the other day. On. Off.
I like it.
I love it.
I want to get one. Is that all plastic, or do you think there's metal inside of it?
I think it's all plastic. It's only rated at I don't know, 15 kgs or something like that. Something pretty light. It's not meant for a load.
Yeah, well, a chainsaw's not very heavy.
So yeah, you want to rely on your lanyard still.
Yeah.
Lanyard on. Yeah, it's good. All right, still light. Heads up. Sat there. There's about 4 big pieces on that one spot.
You got some major hangers down there. Let's see what we got in here. There's the
Ready?
old top. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Ooh,
Not much.
almost looks like a nest in there. Okay.
There was a hole there. Something.
Oh yeah.
Woodpecker.
Yeah. Somebody was living in there. Well, at least the ants aren't there, or the termites.
Yeah, lots of bugs.
But for anybody who says that redwood is resistant to insects,
Yeah, take a look.
yeah. So this is all from that secondary top. And it's about 14 inches across here. Interestingly, we counted the rings on this, and it was only 8 years old. So this 14-inch diameter secondary top, which comprised all of these pieces, including those long bits there, was only 8 years of growth before it died. All of this was the side branches that were coming off of that top. But what was really interesting was there was another branch that went off of it that was quite old, and I think I showed the rings on that. I don't know where that is at around here, but there was one piece that went sideways that was ancient. Oh, there we go. Look at the rings on that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ancient, meaning probably a 50-year-old branch. So that 14-inch piece there is only 8 years old. This 4-inch piece is 50 years old plus. Interesting. And there's some of the decay from the top. The original top cut is riddled with insect holes. Massive tree.